Please adhere to YouTube selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during the video. All actions are performed by professionals. Alright, so today I'm going to be smoking an Indonesian cigarette and drinking hot tea at 5:30 p.m. on a cold day as the sun slowly sets, which as a whole I'm looking forward to doing. As today I want some nicotine, I want a cigarette, and I also want some caffeine as I want to wake up just a little bit. And in my personal opinion, hot tea is a great thing to have while you're smoking a cigarette. The flavors combine really well. The hot tea and the hot smoke go together very well in my personal opinion, and frankly put, I personally think that the Indonesian cigarette I have with me today is gonna go really well with the hot tea that I have with me today. What I have with me today as far as my cigarette goes is the Indonesian Black Cappuccino flavored Kretek Clove cigarettes from Indonesia. As far as my tea goes, I have the Earl Greyer from the Republic of Tea brand of tea. Both the Indonesian Black Cappuccinos and the Earl Greyer from the Republic of Tea are very solid products in my personal opinion, and I'm thinking they're gonna go together pretty well. But I can't get to drinking and smoking quite yet because I don't have my tea pre-prepared, and I don't even have any water in my mug right here. As such, I suppose I should probably go get some water, microwave it, get it warmed up, go ahead and steep my tea, and I should probably go ahead and after that, well, get to smoking, get to drinking my hot tea, and get to enjoying this experience. So without further ado, I will be right back in just a moment. That wasn't a very good snap. Alright, I've got my hot water now. Let's see if I can get over to my chair without slipping on the ice on the porch and without spilling all of my very warm water that I now have. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get my tin of Earl Greyer tea all opened up. Of course, this is Earl Grey. Smells fantastic, just like cigarettes do. And let's go ahead and get one of these little pouches out, and let's go ahead and start steeping it. I do think so. It's 3 minutes steep time for these is recommended. It's currently 5:43 right now. So I'm gonna aim for 5:47 because it's almost 5:44. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on the time, but let's go ahead and start steeping this real quick. Just do that just a little bit. And take my spoon I have with me, and I'm just gonna kind of just try to get it all, I would say aerated, but not really aerated because it's in water now, isn't it? And I'm just gonna keep that at the bottom with my spoon, just like that. And I'm gonna go and put the lid back on my Earl Greyer. I've been drinking this stuff just a little bit, I'll acknowledge. I've been having tea just about every day when I wake up, and maybe even more than once a day, I'll acknowledge. And the Earl Greyer, I gotta admit, very, very, very solid stuff. A little bit of like a lemon honey flavor kind of thing. It's got that bergamot in it because it is an Earl Grey. And no, very solid, very high quality tea in my personal opinion. And while this is definitely a little bit more expensive than something like, let's say, Twinings or Bigelow, in my opinion, it's worth the price. It's worth the price. And also, it's not that much more expensive. But, do I want to go ahead and get a cigarette going? Do I want to go ahead and pre-prepare some nicotine in my bloodstream in preparation for the caffeine that's going to be flowing into my bloodstream? It's pretty tempting, in all honesty. It's pretty tempting to do that. As said, today I have the Indonesian Black Cappuccinos with me today. And, yeah, you know, I'm wanting one. I'd might as well have one, so I'm going to have one. I do think I am going to go ahead and have one. And I think I'm going to go ahead and get to smoking before my tea is even steeped. What time is it now? We have just about another, I would have to say, minute and a half to go of steeping time for my tea. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get smoking, pre-prepare some nicotine in my bloodstream, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, in my personal opinion, hot tea and cigarettes go together like chocolate and strawberries. They go together like Diesel and Mercedes. They go together like cigarettes and more cigarettes. Hot tea and cigarettes go together like frosting and cake. Hot tea and cigarettes go together like no water and dehydration. That last one was pretty horrible in all honesty. Always make sure to stay hydrated, y'all. Always make sure to stay hydrated. Cigarettes and hot tea go together like water and hydration. Now there we go. That's a better comparison right there, kind of thing. And I gotta admit, when I take a sip of water for the first time in like an hour and a half or something like that kind of thing, and I just feel so much better after doing so, I feel like I just drank some hot tea and smoked a cigarette kind of thing. It's just such a refreshing feeling. And I gotta admit, smoking cigarettes and drinking hot tea is just so refreshing in general. It's just so nice. To say the least, I am looking forward to drinking some of my tea. And so far, I am thoroughly enjoying my DeJarem Black Cappuccino, I'll acknowledge. You know, a little bit of a, I would have to say, like, sweet clove. I would have to say slightly sort of milky, sort of vanilla flavor going on kind of thing. I don't tend to put like milk in my tea by any means. I'm not really a milk and tea type of person. But I do think cigarettes that have a sort of vanilla milky flavor pair really nicely with tea. And so as such, I'm thinking this is going to pair really well with my tea today. I do actually already know that it's going to pair really well with my tea because I have actually smoked a DeJarem Black Cappuccino and had the Earl Grey or tea before in the past off video. So I do know that this is already going to be a pretty good pairing, but I am expecting it to be a great pairing. What time is it, though? What time is it? Are we done with steeping? Oh my God, I'm a minute over. I let it steep for 4 minutes instead of 3. Oh my goodness. All right, let's go ahead, get the tea bag out, and I am all ready to go ahead and get to drinking some tea. Hopefully it's not too warm. I warmed up my water in the microwave for 2 minutes. Is it going to be too warm? I'm going to try to get all of the water out of the tea bag by just squishing it a little bit. Oh, that's really hot on my fingers. My fingers are a little bit cold though, so I'm sure that was part of it. But there's the tea bag, all done. Steaming just a little bit as we can tell. Going to put the spoon down on my table and I'm going to go ahead. Smell it. Ooh, it smells like Earl Grey to me. A little bit of that lemon, honey bergamot. Let's see if it's cool enough to take a sip of. Ooh, just barely cool enough. I'm honestly glad I let it steep for an extra minute because if I had only let it steep for 3 minutes, then I think it would have been a bit too hot right after taking the tea bag out. But at 4 minutes, it's just about perfect kind of thing. Let's grab myself a thumbnail real quick. Gotta let it cool for just a little bit longer, so let's go and grab a thumbnail. Gotta admit, though, just getting the slightest bit of a nicotine buzz. And man, that is nice. That is really nice. Yeah, I gotta admit, the DeJarem Black Cappuccinos, they do pair quite well. They do pair quite well with hot tea. No complaints on my behalf. The sun is definitely going down now, I'll acknowledge. It's getting a little bit darker out here, but it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. It is a bit cold today. It's like 34 degrees right now, so not quite freezing, but definitely colder than not. And, you know, overall, it's the perfect day to drink some hot tea outside and smoke a little bit of a cigarette. And, in my opinion, this is the ideal scenario to drink some hot tea and smoke a clove cigarette kind of thing. At least in my head, kind of thing. Of course, opinions may vary. But clove cigarettes to me have a very warm feeling to them. And I think that's just due to the fact that they contain clove. And a lot of my childhood memories of clove-flavored stuff comes from my experience with hot apple cider as a kid. And the hot apple cider that I enjoyed so much had a little bit of clove in it as well. So I really do associate clove with warm apple cider and just like with warm, sort of like warm stuff in cold months. That's very much what I associate clove with. And while I don't have any apple cider with me today, like any clove apple cider with me today, that would be pretty nice to have right now as well. But my tea is also pretty nice as well, so I certainly can't complain. Ooh, delicious, delicious. And yeah, I gotta admit, the flavor of the clove cigarette I'm smoking today, that little bit of a clove flavor, slight sort of, I would have to say a little bit of a fruity, sort of, I would say hot apple cider sort of flavor kind of thing, just because it reminds me so much of that hot apple cider. Along with that sort of lemon, bergamot, honey sort of flavor, with the little bit of the milky flavor coming from the cigarette. No, it all combines together very well. The lemon, honey, bergamot from the tea, the like clove, apple cider, sort of like creamy vanilla milk from the cigarette. Man, it all combines together very well. No complaints on my behalf. And made even better by the fact that this cigarette's burning quite slowly. It's not burning particularly quickly by any means. Now, granted, I haven't been taking hit after hit after hit, chain smoking really quickly by any means, but it is smoking quite slowly. If I was smoking, like, let's say, a Marlboro Red or something like that, I would already be done with the cigarette and I'd have to light another one kind of thing. But I don't even got to worry about that in this scenario because this one just keeps smoking kind of thing. And, yeah, just means I can enjoy my tea a little bit more without having to worry about relighting my cigarette. Nah, very solid combo. Very solid combo. And this might be a combination. I'm just thinking. This might be a combination. Now, I was about to say, I might be the only person in the United States enjoying this combination right now. But that, I don't know about that. There's a lot of people in the United States. But might I be the only person in my local area currently enjoying the combination of a DeJaron Black cappuccino and a hot Earl Grey tea right now? I think it's very possible. I certainly don't think this is a world's first by any means, but I definitely do think that currently, as I'm recording this video, I may very well be the only person in my local area enjoying this combination. No complaints on my behalf. None at all. None at all. Man, very solid though. Very solid. I gotta admit. This combination, it's pretty gas. It's pretty gas. Is this something I would do again? Would I smoke an Indonesian cigarette while drinking hot tea on a cold day again? Absolutely, I totally would. I totally would do this again. No question in my mind. My tea is getting a bit cold quickly, though, because it is cold out here. So it is getting colder than not, more quickly than not. But, that's okay. I'm almost done with my smoke, so, you know, I'm almost done with my tea. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. I think I've probably got one or two more hits of my cigarette left, and think I've probably got one or two more sips of my hot tea left. I will acknowledge the nicotine and the caffeine, it is hitting. I am feeling awake right now, and I am feeling good right now, and I have no complaints on my behalf. Let's go and take the last hit of my cigarette. Let's go ahead and, excuse me. Let's go ahead and, well, I'm trying to stub my cigarette out. There we go. And let's go ahead and warm my hands up with my hot mug. And let's take the last sip of my tea. Or the last 2 sips. Nothing left, as we can see. Gotta admit, hot tea, clove cigarette on a cold day like today. Was it a solid experience? It absolutely was. No complaints on my behalf. Is this an experience I would have again? Without a doubt, absolutely. I would have this experience again. Did I enjoy this experience? Most certainly I did. And, excuse me. Just had a little bit of a burp. Would I do this again? Yeah, absolutely. This was a great experience. This was such a solid experience. Clove cigarette, Earl Grey on a cold on a cold day like today. Nah, very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. No complaints on my behalf. I think that's just about all I had to say for today's video. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching today's video. If you guys have enjoyed watching today's video where I smoked an Indonesian clove cigarette and drank some hot tea on a cold winter day as the sun slowly set. Of course, make sure to like and subscribe. I have my everything on the description down below. Go check it all out. Appreciate y'all watching. To the next one, stay safe in peace and have a great one.